Marmion by Sir Walter Scott. Introduction to Canto 5th. To George Ellis, Esquire. Edinburgh. When dark December glooms the day, and takes our autumn joys away, when short and scant the sunbeam throws upon the weary waste of snows a cold and profitless regard, like patron on a needy bard. When sylvan occupation's done, and o'er the chimney rests the gun, and hang in idle trophy near the game pouch, fishing rod, and spear. When wiry terrier, rough and grim, and greyhound, with his length of limb, and pointer, now employed no more, cumber our parlour's narrow floor. When in his stall the impatient steed is long condemned to rest and feed. When from our snow-encircled home scarce cares the hardiest step to roam, since path is none, save that to bring the needful water from the spring. When wrinkled news-page thrice conned o'er beguiles the dreary hour no more, and darkling politician crossed inveighs against the lingering post, and answering housewife sore complains of carrier's snow-impeded wains. When such the country cheer, I come, well pleased to seek our city home, for converse and for books, to change the forest's melancholy range, and welcome with renewed delight the busy day and social night. Not here need my desponding rhyme lament the ravages of time, as erst by Newark's riven tower and Ettrick stripped of forest bower. True, Caledonia's queen is changed, since on her dusky summit ranged within its steep limits spent, by bulwark, line, and battlement, and flanking towers and lakey flood, guarded and garrisoned she stood, denying entrance or resort, save at each tall embattled port, above whose arch, suspended, hung portcullis spiked with iron prong. That long is gone, but not so long, since, early closed and opening late, jealous revolved the studded gate, whose task from eve to morning tide a wicked churlish sheep supplied. Stern, then, and steel-girt was thy brow, Dun Eden. Oh, how altered now, when safe amid thy mountain court thou sittest like empress at her sport, and liberal, unconfined, and free, flinging thy white arm to the sea, for thy dark cloud, with umbered lower, that hung o'er cliff, and lake, and tower, thou gleamest against the western ray 10,000 lines of brighter day. Not she, the championess of old, in Spenser's magic tale enrolled, she for the charmed spear renowned, which forced each knight to kiss the ground. Not more she changed when, placed at rest, what time she was Malbecco's guest, she gave to flow her maiden vest. When from the corset's gasp relieved, free to the sight her bosom heaved. Sweet was her blue eye's modest smile, erst hidden by the aventile, and down her shoulders gracefully rolled her locks profuse of pally gold. They whom whilom in midnight fight had marvelled at her matchless might, no less her maiden charms approved, by looking liked, and liking loved. The sight could jealous pangs beguile, and charm Malbecco's cares awhile, and he, the wandering squire of dames, forgot his Columbella's claims, and passion, erst unknown, could gain the breast of blunt Saint Saturne, nor durst light Paridel advance, bold as he was, a looser glance. She charmed at once, and tamed the heart, incomparable Britomane. So thou, fair city, disarrayed of battled wall and rampart's aid, as stately seem'st, but lovelier far than in that panoply of war. Nor deem that from thy fenceless throne strength and security are flown. Still, as of yore, queen of the north, still canst thou send thy children forth. Ne'er readier at alarm bell's call, thy burghers rose to man thy wall. Then now, in danger, shall be thine thy dauntless voluntary line. For fosse and turret proud to stand, their breasts the bulwarks of the land. Thy thousands, trained to martial toil, full red would stain their native soil, ere from thy mural crown there fell the slightest knops or pinnacle. And if it come, as come it may, Dun Eden, that eventful day, renowned for hospitable deed, that virtue much with heaven may plead, in patriarchal times, whose care descending angels deign to share, that claim may wrestle blessings down on those who fight for the good town, destined in every age to be refuge of injured royalty. Since first, when conquering York rose, to Henry meek she gave repose, till late, with wonder, grief, and awe, great Bourbon's relics sad she saw. Truce to these thoughts, for, as they rise, how gladly I avert mine eyes, bodings, or true or false to change, for fiction's fair romantic range, or for tradition's dubious light that hovers twixt the day and night, dazzling alternately and dim. Her wavering lamp I'd rather trim, knights, squires, and lovely dames to see creation of my fantasy, than gaze abroad on reeky fen, and make of mists invading men. Who loves not more the night of June than dull December's gloomy noon, the moonlight than the fog of frost? But can we say, which cheats the most? But who shall teach my harp to gain a sound of the romantic strain, whose Anglo-Norman tones whilere could win the royal Henry's ear? Famed Beauclerk called, for that he loved the minstrel, and his lay approved? Who shall these lingering notes redeem, decaying on oblivion's stream? Such notes as from the Breton tongue Marie translated, Blondel sung? Oh, born time's ravage to repair, and make the dying muse thy care, who, when his scythe her hoary foe was posing for the final blow, the weapon from his hand could wring and break his glass and shear his wing, and bid, reviving in his strain, the gentle poet live again. Thou, who canst give to lightest lay an unpedantic moral gay, nor less the dullest theme bid flit on wings of unexpected wit, in letters, as in life approved, example honored and beloved, dear Ellis, to the bard impart a lesson of thy magic art, to win at once the head and heart, at once to charm, instruct, and mend, my guide, my patron, and my friend. Such minstrel lesson to bestow belong thy pleasing task, but oh, no more by thy example teach. What few can practice, all can preach, with even patience to endure lingering disease and painful cure, and boast affliction's pangs subdued by mild and manly fortitude. Enough, the lesson has been given. Forbid repetition, heaven. Come listen then, for thou hast known and loved the minstrel's varying tone, who, like his border sires of old, waked a wild measure rude and bold, till Windsor's oaks and Ascot plain with wonder heard the northern strain. Come listen, bold in thy applause, the bard shall scorn pedantic laws, and, as the ancient art could stain achievements on the storied pane, irregularly traced and planned, but yet so glowing and so grand, so shall he strive, in changeful hue, field, feast, and combat to renew, and loves, and arms, and harper's glee, and all the pomp of chivalry.